Hello, my name is Luis Partida, and I will be addressing the foreign issue of trade in North America between the countries of Canada, Mexico, and the United States. NAFTA is the North America Free Trade Agreement, which took effect on January 1st, 1994, when it was signed by President George H.W. Bush on December 17th, 1992. NAFTA was celebrated by all three countries because it was able to make trade easier and more accessible for companies across all three borders. Trading commenced with negotiations over 30 years ago when just Canada and the United States created a deal called the U.S.-Canada Free Trade Agreement. But Mexico joined in at the beginning of the 1990s, and NAFTA was born by 1992. The purpose of NAFTA was to facilitate business for companies in North America, specifically businesses that had to cross the border while producing and selling goods. NAFTA grants the most favored nation status to all cosigners, meaning Canada and Mexico have most favored nation status to the United States when it comes to trading. This deal was able to eliminate tariffs on imports and exports between all three countries, being able to reduce the price at which businesses had to sell their goods to the people. Without tariffs and taxes to pay, the prices weren't as expensive. Also, within NAFTA, countries were supposed to respect patents and trademarks and copyrights that were created throughout any three of the countries. It also helped establish procedures to resolve trade disputes that three countries could possibly have. And according to NAFTA, exporters must get certificates of origin to waive tariffs to keep in check the businesses that are sending goods over the borders. All seems like positive stuff so far, but not everyone was happy with it. President Trump is one of those people that does not like NAFTA. As seen in this picture, he has been displeased with NAFTA ever since he started campaigning, going on to even call NAFTA the worst trade deal in history. He blames NAFTA for the loss of many manufacturing jobs in the country, and he thinks that renegotiating it or terminating it will be the key to bring back jobs into the country. President Trump has succeeded in that regard because he was able to renegotiate the deal into what we will now have in the future if it is approved by the legislation of all three countries. The new trade deal established is called the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA for short. It still has to be ratified by all three countries, which means that the legislative systems in all three countries have to pass it, and then the presidents have to sign it. This would go into effect in 2020. The USMCA keeps a lot of the original NAFTA rules, but it does change some important rules in the industries that mattered the most to President Trump. Changes occurred to a few industries, including automotive, dairy, drugs, and steel industries. The automotive industry has changed because cars now have to have 75% manufactured in North America for it to be able to be sold in the United States. Also, a $16 minimum wage has to be paid on the workers of cars. Dairy has less tariffs for American farmers so that they can sell their products in Canada. Drugs and steel just have less tariffs than previously before. The sunset clause is that if in 16 years this deal doesn't get renewed, it will be terminated. But with a deal worth $1.2 trillion, I have a feeling this deal will be renegotiated before it's over.